Hi, it's Terry,
And Jen.
and today we have a very special guest.
We're excited to introduce you to Misty-Lee Carlson from Mortgage Alliance.
Hi, Missy, welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, Terry. Hi, Jen. Thanks for having me for coffee. As you mentioned, I'm a mortgage agent with Mortgage Alliance. My business is Mortgages by Misty. I work with Mortgage Alliance because we have access to over 65 different lenders, including big banks, credit unions, and private lenders, and also what's called a monoline. And monolines only do mortgages. They don't have checkings and savings accounts. So that offering allows me to find the best mortgage products and rates for my clients. And working with a company like Mortgage Alliance allows me to leverage their large volumes to negotiate better rates and terms for my clients.
How has this pandemic been affecting people who've already been pre approved for a mortgage and looking for a home?
How is this pandemic affecting business in real estate and mortgages? That's an excellent question. So, in these interesting times, if you've already been pre approved to buy a home, that doesn't necessarily mean that the approval will continue. Lenders now are being far more stringent in the documents that they're looking for from our clients, and they want everything upfront. And they're also calling at sometimes the very last minute before a deal closes. They're calling clients' employers to confirm employment and that they're still employed. Sometimes, in some cases, if it's an insured mortgage or through CMHC or another default mortgage insurance company, we can negotiate and have, if somebody has lost a job and they are no longer employed because of the COVID, if the mortgage is insured, we're sometimes able to negotiate and have that deal still go ahead and not fall through.
What about people who have pending deals?
So, as of today, if you have an accepted offer and you've already been approved for financing, odds are pretty good that the lenders, for the most part, are going to let the deal go through. There have been very few deals that we've seen that have been pre approved and are a solid deal fall through. So, but just a caution. That is a possibility right now with the changing times.
What about people who are just starting their home search?
If you're just starting your search now, what I my best piece of advice is there's a lot of documentation required for a mortgage approval. And with COVID, there's been an increased activity of fraud. And lenders are very aware of this and are now asking for a lot of documentation up front that they would sometimes not otherwise have even asked for. So now you're going to need a letter of employment in addition to recent pay stubs and your T4s and notices of assessment. And all of these documents, some of them I would have requested, just to get your file started, but now I need all of them in order to just submit your file for an approval before they'll even start looking at your file.
I know a lot of people are asking, how are the mortgage rates right now?
Interest rates, that's always a great topic right now. The Bank of Canada in March dropped its overnight rate 3 times, which it dropped its rate a total of 3 times for 1.5%, so it's now down to 0.25%. In normal times, you would expect to see the banks and lenders follow suit by also reducing their rates and passing the savings along to the clients. In recent days, they have dropped their prime lending rate. It's now at 2.45, which is great. However, they're reducing the discounts that they would normally pass along to the clients, and in some cases, for a variable rate, for example, which is typically or in past months has been prime minus zero point 0.6 to prime minus 1. Now is prime, and we're expecting to see it become a prime plus situation for a variable rate. We're hoping these rates will stabilize, but really, I just don't have a crystal ball, and it's day to day. We're getting new rate sheets from the lenders, sometimes twice a day, just to respond to market fluctuation and run their business as well.
Is there any advice that you may have?
Things are changing rapidly right now with COVID, and lenders are releasing new rules and new practices almost daily, so it's really hard to keep on top of. The best piece of advice that I can offer is it's going to take time. Things are taking a lot more time than what they have been previously. So, for example, if you are making an offer on a home, try and allow 10 to 14 business days for that financing condition. Because it takes 1 to 2 weeks with some lenders for an approval. And some lenders we're seeing it's 3 to sometimes even 4 weeks in order to get an approval, depending on how things are going. Some of the lenders are running with skeleton staff. The networks are overwhelmed with traffic, and systems are crashing, and it's taking a lot of time in order to get things done.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Things are still happening, deals are still closing, and things are still moving ahead. They are just taking an awful lot longer than what we're used to, so please be patient. We're dealing with a lot of new technologies. Some businesses aren't used to using the new technologies, and they're just now getting their online systems up to speed and able to handle the influx. Our lenders are dealing with 3 times as many applications as what they're used to right now. With all of the market changes, people are trying to refinance, pull equity out of their homes right now to help them through these times and to hurry up and get their purchases closed so that they can move into their new homes, and also just regular business of buying and selling homes. So all of these things are happening right now. And another thing that's interesting in Ontario is our lawyers are also allowed to still work, which is fantastic, and they're seeing clients virtually. The Law Society of Upper Canada is allowing that. So even when you go to close your deal, you're dealing with law firms that are running on skeleton crews because they may have staff that have been affected by COVID and have other things going on at home that they just can't be working. So their volumes are higher on top of that. And they're also learning new technological platforms that they've never been even allowed to use until recently. So it's a learning curve and a backlog on top of that. So be patient with everybody and the whole process, but know that we're all working hard for you and your clients, and we're doing the best we can in these challenging times. So, thanks again for inviting me for coffee, and stay well and stay safe and healthy.
Thank you so much, Misty, for joining us today.
We really do appreciate your insight.
Bye for now.
Thanks. Bye.